Coming up on Look Today, well, friends of the IBA in Washington County receive important grant money. I've got details. And low-income families may be affected by a national proposal which could raise their monthly rents. I've got some details. And the French and Indian War Society is presenting Paul Stillman portraying Ben Franklin. I've got those details. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone. I'm J. Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, for tonight's program, I sit down with Arnie Morehouse. He's Assistant Vice President of Marketing for Jaeger and Flynn Associates. And we're joined by Jill Vogel. She's Assistant Director, SUNY Adirondack Foundation. And they're here to talk about the upcoming Grip It and Rip It golf tournament. Plus, in our weekly series, A Look at Veterans, I sit down with Carrie Blanchard. She's Residential Housing Program Specialist for the Veterans Health Administration. And we're joined by my co-host, Cheryl Hage Perez, who's the Executive Director of the Veterans and Community Housing Coalition. And they're here to talk about the important work that the Veterans Health Administration does to aid veterans in finding housing in our communities. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, we've got these headline stories. In our lead story, as we told you yesterday, important local land trust organizations have received grant money from New York State. Well, included in that group, Friends of the IBA in Washington County. Well, today we spoke to Lori LaFawn. She's Executive Director of Friends of the IBA.
Yeah, it was really exciting when we got the notice that we got the $40,000 grant. It's going to be really significant to helping us build our visibility and our financial support. So that's what we're using this grant for. It's specifically targeted for building our capacity.
Congratulations to Lori and everyone at the IBA. All right, in other news, well, the U.S. Housing and Urban Development Secretary, Ben Carson, has proposed raising the amount that low-income families could expect to pay for rent. This proposed legislation would require congressional approval. Now, if passed, it could affect low-income families who pay as little as $50 a month, raising that cap to $150 a month. Now, it may not sound like a lot, but when you're struggling, it's an enormous amount. Now, in the coming weeks, we're going to be taking a much closer look at how this federal bill would affect people in our local communities. Switching from news to weather. Today saw clear skies, some wind, it was colder. Let's see how the rest of the week and the weekend is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponster with your first look weather update on Look TV. We currently have a couple of systems to pay attention to. One that is departing, bringing shower chances into portions of New England. We also have a new area of low pressure, maybe a cold front advancing through parts of the mid and deep south. What does that mean for our area? Well, we're going to have a break between those weather systems, but we could see chances of showers as you make your way towards the weekend. Here's a local radar perspective showing that precipitation chances moving on out. There's still a few lingering showers nearby our area, and that can mean trouble heading into your Friday, despite the fact we're having high pressure in control for the daytime. Here comes that low pressure system for Friday night, so we'll be dry overnight, 39 degrees. West winds will go calm. Here's the daily planner, especially the out-to-door forecast. 41 at 7 a.m. with partial sunshine, maybe a few showers at 8 a.m., 44 degrees. Near 50 by the time you get to our 9 a.m., but we see those shower chances begin to rapidly increase, and then we'll see a likely chance of showers on your Friday. May see a 10th to a quarter inch of rain, highs in the upper 50s, south wind about 5 miles per hour. We'll drop to the mid-40s overnight, 50% chance of showers on Saturday. Few shower chances still linger on Sunday. Cooler as the cold front comes by. We're only in the upper 40s for highs, and we'll drop to 34. Then we're warming back into the 60s Monday, lower 70s Tuesday with mostly sunny skies. That was your forecast on Look TV. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponster. Now I send you back to you, Jesse.
Thanks very much, Clarence. All right, back to the news. The French and Indian War Society is presenting Paul Stillman and his portrayal of Benjamin Franklin. Now, the presentation is taking place tomorrow at the Fort William Henry Conference Center in Lake George. Audience members will hear Benjamin Franklin's account of his days as Pennsylvania Assemblyman. That, by the way, was in 1740s. And Paul will also play Benjamin Franklin's original musical invention. Anybody know the name of that? It's called the glass harmonica. Well, we spoke to Paul Stillman, or should I say, Benjamin Franklin.
And then I'm going to play my glass harmonica, A-R-M-O-N-I-C-A, which is a glass musical instrument that I invented during the French and Indian War in 1761. I intend to play that tomorrow night for the people. I'm also bringing my static tube so we can do static electricity experiments, because I was very good friends with William Johnson. William Johnson is a name common in this area, and Johnson and I were very good friends as far as scientific experimentation went.
Very cool. All right, up next, I sit down with Arnie Morehouse. He's Assistant Vice President Marketing, Jaeger and Flynn Associates. And we're joined by Jill Vogel. She's Assistant Director of the SUNY Adirondack Foundation. And they're here to talk about the upcoming Grip It and Rip It golf tournament and how those proceeds go to help SUNY Adirondack Foundation in their scholarships. And I also, in our weekly series, A Look at Veterans, sit down with Carrie Blanchard. Now, she's Residential Housing Program Specialist for Veterans Health Administration. And we're joined by my co-host, Cheryl H. Perez, who's the Executive Director of the Veterans and Community Housing Coalition. They're here to talk about the important work that the Veterans Health Administration does to aid veterans in finding housing in our communities. But first, if you've seen what's happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I got a couple of lookouts. I hope I get the details right on this first one. Earlier in the broadcast, you heard us you saw us interview Paul Stillman, who plays Benjamin Franklin. This is the final presentation in the spring series by the French and Indian War Society up in Lake George. And it starts at 7 p.m. And Paul specializes in highlighting the elder years of Benjamin Franklin and his interaction with the French and Indian War. This series is really quite riveting, and if you're around Lake George there, make sure you stop in, okay? And the other lookout will go towards the Beetle Cruise. I want to keep reminding you of this. It's Sunday. I think they're going out on the Adirondack, that boat, and it's across the pond, the Beatles Band, String Quartet, Dance Company. That's going to be quite a lot of fun, and it goes out early, 7 p.m. So those are two lookouts for tonight. A reminder, tonight on Look TV, it's sold. That's our call-in auction program. Great estate jewelry and coins. It's quite a popular program. You want to check that out. Great finds. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.